Welcome everybody to another Morph-Moment Empowering Series. Today I'm interviewing Sarah Burns, MBE, who is the chair of Smartworks charity in Reading and Thames Valley. Sarah, very welcome to our interview series, and thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Oh, it's absolutely my pleasure. Thank you.
We are absolutely delighted that we are in partnership now with Smartworks, with whom we're sharing our values to empower women with clothing and instill them with confidence so that they can go and conquer the world. I like to call it that way, because it does feel like that when you dress.
It does, absolutely.
Makes you feel powerful. So, first of all, I would like to talk about you and your background and what your Morph-Moment was that instigated the wish to enter over a decade into voluntary service.
So I started my journey of working way back when as a nursery nurse, and then I moved into professional services and training with different tech companies across the Thames Valley. I loved the people side of it. I love learning. And I suppose I'm the kind of person that sort of jumps into anything. You know, I've never known what I want to do or be as I grow up. I just give everything a go. And after 13 years of being with this one company, I was made redundant, and I took it quite personally, and it affected my confidence, and it was unexpected. I moved into another role, and although I loved that role, we didn't fit really that well with the culture and just the change of company. There was lots of things I loved about it, but after 3 years I thought, actually it's affecting my confidence, it's affecting my well-being, so I'm going to leave. So I did, not knowing what I was going to do. Then a friend said, why don't you do a coaching diploma with me? I thought, oh, okay. I'll do that. So I did that, and as part of that, to get practice with coaching, I went and started volunteering for Smartworks in London, and I was an interview coach for many years, probably about 3 or 4 years. And I did lots of other volunteering roles there, stock, and looked after the donations, and I absolutely loved it. There was like nothing about that role, volunteering, that I didn't love. I could make an impact. I could see the impact I was making with the women that I was seeing and supporting and helping. It was fairly instant, which I loved. So I thought, oh, I wonder if I could do this as a job as such. And the opportunity came that they were opening more sites across the UK, and they didn't have one in Reading or the Thames Valley. So I put forward a business proposal to set up the Smartworks in Reading that covers the Thames Valley. And I kind of went into it quite blindly, that, oh, I could do this. Lots of challenges along the way, changing industry sector, starting something on your own, which I know you will know all about with your company. And there's lots of things that you just presume, you know, will happen, and then you realize, oh no, you've got to do it.
It's overwhelming. Yeah,
overwhelming, absolutely. That first year, I pulled on a lot of friends, networks, getting advice and support from people, but it's the best move. I absolutely love every day at Smartworks in every aspect, and it's helped me improve my confidence and just learn and enjoy.
I love the way you described your journey here, because you really touched on a lot of points that we want to bring up with our interview series of empowering Morph-Moments, which is having an experience, right? Or a change in your life, or your professional or even private. For me, it was a family reason that made me want to change. For you, it was professional, and then so that is a lovely feeling when you get that, and then actually when you implement it and make a change. And it's wonderful when you talk about how you gelled with the values of Smartworks and the people there, because that's another value we want to bring across. It's female solidarity between females, how we like to support one another, and how empowering it is. And yes, your whole experience was actually to make your life more sustainable, because it wasn't the way you were living. You needed to change. So yeah, it's lovely to hear your personal story, and thank you for sharing that. Now, talking about Smartworks, so we're talking about your mission to help ladies to fill their confidence, get back into a confidence mood, in order to face an interview and face work. And I was wondering, during the pandemic, again, the topic of COVID, unfortunately, it keeps popping up, doesn't it? A lot of women lost their jobs, and if they couldn't work from home. So what impact did that have on your charity, and how much of your mission could you still implement during this unprecedented times?
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting. I mean, the national statistics were that nearly 250,000 of UK women lost their jobs between December 2020 and March 2021. And I know I heard a report saying that a lot of those women were of the 50 plus age group that had been in industries and in their roles for years, whether it be travel industry, hospitality, retail, and suddenly they were made redundant or on furlough, and they may have to start looking at a different role that they have to go into, which is daunting when you've been doing one thing for so long. I was really pleased to see, Smartworks HQ in London and all the centres came together, and we, although we couldn't see women in our offices and our space, we came up with a virtual service. Wow. And to be honest, I was a bit skeptical. I thought, oh no, because I'm much like the people person. I like to see the person and the reaction. And I thought, I'm not sure if Zoom's going to do it. But I was so pleased because we stuck to our principles and our values and our belief of it's the small things and the personal things that we do that have the most impact. And so when we do the dressing, we set up a Zoom calls with the client, and we ask them, we had to change the questions. So we ask questions like, where do you normally shop? What size do you normally get from that shop? So we could find out a little bit about their personality and their shape and their size and their likes. And we showed them the clothes, and then we packed it all personally in a box with tissue paper and a little note to say, good luck with your job. And that was signed by the volunteers, posted out to them. And I would say 90, if not 98% of them, they fitted the clothes, they appreciated the clothes, they got there in time. So the feedback was still very positive. And then we had the hour virtual with coaching online, and we made that personal by having our service delivery manager that books the clients in and is the start of the relationship. They got the client on the Zoom, got the volunteer on the Zoom, introduced them, and then left them as sort of in that virtual room by themselves, and then came back at the end to check, is everything okay? And we got feedback and moved on. So we still managed to deliver a personal service and an impactful service. And then as and when COVID rules relaxed, we have managed to start getting clients back into the office and do our usual wonderful service of one-on-one delivery in person. So it was lovely to see we all supported each other. If we didn't have staff in the centres, you know, London supported us. So it sort of built a really nice community. So we all stood with each other and helped each other out to make sure that everyone was safe, everyone had support. Some of our volunteers, you know, they were caring for their parents or whatever, so they couldn't support, but they've now come back, and we as a group in Reading, we set up volunteer wellness sessions. So every week we invited people along to listen to guest speakers. We had yoga sessions, breathing sessions. We talked about all sorts. And sent them as part of it, because they are they're the heartbeat of Smartworks and our service. We are a volunteer-led organisation, so you know, everyone volunteers. We have 2 members of staff in Reading, and so without them we couldn't deliver the service we do.
Yes. And, you know, with the Morph-Bag, I always talk about that in order to lead a sustainable lifestyle, you need to try to find balance, which is not just a physical, but also emotional and spiritual balance. And this is another value that we share together, because what Smartworks encompasses goes beyond actually the provision of advice on how to conduct yourself properly during an interview to get a job, or to dress appropriately for the interview. It has this human touch, this you know, the introduction of how you get yourself into the zone of well-being, so that you feel okay within yourself and filled with confidence to face the important situation that you're going to face. So yeah, it's very inspirational organization. We're so happy
I always think, like, you never know someone's story or their journey, and we all make judgments that fly into our head when we meet people or we see somebody. But it has taught me, you know, don't presume you know someone's pre-life or their challenges that they're in. And you know, if it's not a challenge to you, it doesn't mean that it's not a challenge for them. And you know, just listening, being able to give them a different perspective on a challenge or an emotional issue that they may have, and some practical help, really does make a huge difference.
Absolutely, because very often when we go into an interview, we are focused on, you know, how we're going to get across our skill set, whereby actually if we were to focus more on finding a peaceful state of mind when we actually enter in the situation, we would give ourselves a better environment to actually deliver our message and our persona as such. Because it's that balance that gives us the confidence ultimately. Although we do attach material things to it, right? I mean, how do I look my part? But it's actually, it's that peace of mind and balance. So if we shift from the human touch of Smartworks and we talk about you know, what the meaning in terms of the sustainability of your charity, because that's something that from my perspective is very important to me, and was one of your values that attracted me to want to get more great with Smartworks, is the fact that by you asking the female community to donate workwear that they don't use anymore, you actually help circularity. You keep outfits that were pre-loved to be loved again and over again, instead of being purchased new. Do you have a personal particular view about sustainability that means to you? Is that the circular economy that is the biggest?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's broken down into two things. So one is, without knowing it, I was brought up by parents that were all about sustainability and the environment, saving the environment before it was where we are now. You know, it's hot topic. I remember my mum, you know, washing plastic bags and hanging them out on the line so she can reuse them. And I'm thinking, why are you doing that? You know, always, yeah, making 4 meals out of the roast dinner on the Sunday. So and freezing it. Dad growing things in the garden. So. And my father was actually one of the critical six that set up Earthwatch in Oxford, a charity for a environmental charity. And so it was always around me. But I didn't really think about it, I suppose. And then with coming to Smartworks and just being at this stage of my life, I've really, you know, you don't need lots of material things. And actually the pandemic has taught a lot of us that what the important things are in life. Yes. And that, you know, people are friendships, family, nature, fresh air, you know, all those sort of you know, balance in life, and all the noise of having too many clothes, too many bags, too many jewelry, you know, spending lots of money on different things. We don't always need that. And that sometimes it's an instant fix as opposed to a long time wellness. And our ambassador, Ginny Chadwick-Healy, who is amazing, one of her mantras is buy less, buy better.
Yes.
And
let's choose well, that's what we say. Yes.
Yeah, and it is all about asking more questions. And I'm very much now, I look at who am I buying? Why am I buying? What are their ethics? Are they British? Are they a small independent? Is it a local? Is it quality? Is it do I need it?
Yes, ultimately, yes.
And you know, and we take that in Smartworks. So we take these lovely pre-loved items from professional women, and we reuse them with our clients. If they're not client appropriate or work appropriate, we then sell them. And that money then comes back into Smartworks to enable us to buy things that maybe we don't get donated as much. And we very much look at trying to partner with quality retailers that care about their products, because that, I think, you know, that it's so lovely when you receive a suit wrapped up with a card that says, you know, this was my first interview suit and I want to pass it on to somebody. You know, people have such emotional attachment to their clothes, and that's so lovely to see that somebody's given that sort of magical dress over to the next person to get their interview. And it's just a lovely thought, and it's a lovely process. And as you say, it's a circular sort of bringing it all back round.
Yeah, and female solidarity, because we do want that to be given to somebody who's going to feel equally empowered as we felt in that moment in time. Yeah, I've got some lovely power suits actually that I would like to pass on to you from when I was pregnant.
Oh, fabulous.
I don't know whether you need those, but they're beautiful suits, and I've been hanging on to them because they are they're meaningful to me.
It would be lovely.
They triggered my morph moments, so I shall write a little note when I pass.
Oh, lovely.
So now we've spoken about the human value of the concept behind Smartworks, but I'm also interested in the practicality of advice that you give with your knowledge to women who do need that pep talk before entering into an interview situation. If you could, I know it's difficult because we're all individual and everybody, as you said, has a different story they come from and different worries maybe when they enter an interview. But if you gave me a high level answer to this question, please, what would be your top tips that you would give to a woman who has an aspiration to achieve something, but doesn't have the confidence to actually take that leap? What tips would you give her to get herself?
I would say for me, it's if you're passionate about something, you have to enjoy and be passionate and believe in it. And if you do, don't be afraid to show that passion. And don't be afraid to ask for help and advice. I really could not have done what I've done without the volunteers, the staff, my husband, my friends and family, and people I've met along the way. And don't, you may get a no, but that's okay. Just keep asking, because you will get a yes. And be creative. And I find that if you think positively, you can dig deep and your strengths will come out.
Yes. So a good tip would be take that walk before you need to present yourself in a certain way.
Yes.
Yes. So take that mind space.
Yes.
And we women, we are very, we try to do too much in too little time. And we're very giving. I mean, I'm stereotyping here, but I think it is a tendency of the female persona to want to give. And then we put ourselves last. And then sometimes the day arrives, the evening arrives, and we haven't had that time for ourselves. And we do need it, because we are more creative and we can give more and better when we've had that mental space. So that's very good advice. Thank you very much. Good. So apart from donating office wear and bags that could be used to go to interviews, what other items and what other ways could we donate to Smartworks?
So, I mean, we always say there's three ways. So it's donate items of clothing. We always look for sort of good quality, clean items. We're always lacking good handbags, because I think women either hang on to their handbags because they're beautiful, designer ones that they're keeping as an investment, or they use them to death and then they're done. There's no in between. So we're always looking for good handbags, of which we're loving the ones that you've kindly donated to us. They are beautiful, and exactly what they need for interview. A nice A4, that they can put all their things in, but then also have the smaller ones with it. The other things are, if people haven't got clothes that they think are appropriate, is, we always need, we give our clients a little goodie bag, and we put in a mascara, lipstick, so brand new, not used. We give them a pair of tights, especially now in the winter, it's cold, and we try to give them a spare pair, because just in case, you never know, and you don't want to turn up looking great, feeling great, and then have a ladder in your tights. And those things all need to be new, so they rarely get donated. So if somebody wanted to buy a lipstick and send it to us, that's wonderful. And then the other one is volunteering time, and whether it be an interview coach or a dresser, which is a fairly regular, 1 or 2 days a month time commitment. But we do have other roles which are less of a time commitment or a one-off. So if you're interested, email us and see. We've always got roles available. And then the other is, if none of that works, follow us on social media, engage with us, see the impact that we have, come to an event, donate a raffle prize. There's lots of little ways that everyone can become involved, and they all make a difference. Every little bit makes a difference. Yes.
And what I would like to add is that Smartworks has different branches. I mean, not branches, it's a franchise, but you are located in different parts of the UK.
There's London, Manchester, Birmingham, Newcastle, Reading, Edinburgh, Leeds. That's it.
Yes. So if you're willing to donate, you should go to the Smartworks website and look at the different locations, different hubs of Smartworks.
Find the most local one.
And the most local one to you. And you can bring your donations physically into the charity or send them by post.
Yeah. Perfect.
Great. Good. Sarah, I think I asked everything I wanted to ask, and I think the community would love to hear. And it's wonderful to have had you here and hear everything about your background, about Smartworks' wonderful work, and the support to women, how you empower women, and this beautiful community that you create through the organization itself.
And it's absolutely our pleasure, and it's lovely raising awareness for Smartworks, and linking up with yourself and the Morph Bags is such a lovely. We're so interlinked with our values. It's lovely. It's always nice to work with empowering women.
Great, absolutely. Sarah, thanks again so much for your time, and wish you all the very best. And this is not the last time we speak.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.